Hey everyone, Ryan here at eTrailer. Today on our 2024 Ram 2500, we're going to be checking out the B&W Companion fifth wheel trailer hitch. And right away, the Companion is designed to work with the B&W underbed trailer hitch kit, right? So you could even consider this whole fifth wheel an adapter almost, given the fact that your underbed hitch comes with the goose ball. What you would do, remove the goose ball, this would drop into that hitch, giving you a fifth wheel. I think it's really cool. B&W kind of goes the extra mile and makes their parts compatible with one another, you know, because you could use this for a variety of different reasons. One of them being, let's say maybe you started with a gooseneck trailer, right? So you have the underbed gooseneck hitch installed, hook up to your gooseneck, no issues there, right? But let's say maybe you need to tow a different trailer, or you end up buying a different trailer for that matter, and it has a fifth wheel pin box on it. Instead of having to change out your entire hitch setup that's installed on your truck, you get the Companion, utilize what's already there, drop it in place, and now you're good to go. You can hook up to that fifth wheel trailer. Or what I see a lot of people doing that are kind of starting from scratch, so to speak, on the truck side, is if they have a fifth wheel trailer and they're looking to pull it, you could use the underbed hitch and the Companion to get that done, as opposed to some of the other ways, which would require you to have in-bed rails, right? We've all seen that, where the rails are mounted up in the bed of your truck. They're unsightly, they get in the way a lot and everything else. And with a setup like this, it's not the case. With the main part of that underbed hitch being installed, you're gonna have full bed access and nothing will really be in your way. So it's just a cleaner way to end up with a fifth wheel hitch in the bed of your truck. As far as how this is gonna work with your Ram, it's really going to depend mostly on your bed length, okay? So this is a fixed type hitch, meaning once you install it, you can't quickly just make an adjustment to give you more clearance up front there. So with the fixed type hitches, I like to recommend these for long beds like we have here today, because with the long bed, you have adequate clearance kind of right out of the box. You know, you're not gonna have to worry about making a real tight turn and the overhang on your trailer, hitting your cab corner, anything along those lines. With that said, if you happen to have a short bed and that clearance is something that you're worried about, that's when I would recommend the B&W Companion sliding type hitch. And with that slider, when you go to make those real tight turns or stuff like that, the hitch would actually slide back, giving you quite a bit more space to be able to make that maneuver or do whatever it is you're trying to get done. And with that in mind, this is probably a somewhat rare occurrence, but I figured I'd address it because there are situations out there where if maybe you have a short bed, all right, and the pin box on your trailer is a rotating type one, like the Sidewinder, for example, right? You're thinking, well, I could get the fixed hitch because I have that rotating pin box and that'll buy me the clearance that I need. Well, with the B&W Companion, unfortunately, those types of pin boxes aren't going to be compatible with them. But the good news is you're not completely out of luck. You know, what I would do in that scenario is put the stock fixed pin box back on the trailer, or if you don't have that, you know, they're fairly economical for a basic one. Put that on the trailer, get the sliding version of this, and then you're good to go. You know, you're still able to use your hitch and be able to slide it and have adequate clearance when you make those tight turns. A lot of people do ask, you know, about using suspension enhancements with fifth wheel hitches and things of that nature. And in case if you're wondering if the Companion itself is going to run into any issues as far as being able to use the enhancement or not, the answer is no. Simply by dropping the Companion into your existing underbed gooseneck hitch, it's not going to really change anything underneath or get in the way of anything as far as suspension enhancements go. So you should be in pretty good shape there. And a lot of people wonder too about tonneau covers, right? Because these are relatively heavy. You know, usually 2 people can lift this in and out of the bed with relative ease. You gotta be careful. But a lot of people put it in here for the season, leave it in, call it a day, right? Why even bother? And so they want to use a tonneau cover to keep it out of sight and keep the weather off of it and everything. And right now I have our hitch on the medium setting because you can drop it down lower, up a little bit higher to accommodate your trailer. And on the medium setting, just eyeballing everything, it looks like we'd have more than enough room for our tonneau cover to close. Even on the highest setting, I believe that would hold true. I've done a lot of these on all different kinds of makes and models, and personally, I've yet to run into any issues with these style of hitches getting in the way of tonneau covers. As far as what the Companion can handle, it's going to have a 20,000 pound maximum gross trailer weight rating. So that's going to be the amount of weight pulling on the hitch. That will be the weight of your trailer plus anything that you might have in or on it. And it's going to have a 5,000 pound vertical load limit, meaning the amount of weight pushing down on the hitch. Now with all that in mind, I do always like to suggest, never a bad idea just to grab your Ram's owner's manual. That way you can check in there and make sure that it can handle that amount of weight safely. The head will articulate, so what that's going to do is make it a little bit easier to hook up and help prevent chucking and clunking around and stuff when you're going down the road. You know, there's just some forgiveness in there. And the jaw mechanism, super thick steel. It's a dual jaw. And so you're going to have 360-degree contact around your kingpin, which I think is really important. Solid connection point, you know, puts your mind at ease, at least mine, when I'm pulling a big, heavy trailer down the road. The way you'd operate it, too, you know, everything B&W, it's super user-friendly. It just makes sense, you know, it works like you'd expect it to. The handle at good leverage, easy to grab onto. Jaws open up nice and wide, so when you hook up, lock it back down, put your safety pin in there, which you can actually use a locking one of these too, if that's something you'd want to do. That's all there is to it. The head is removable as well. So there's a couple of pins you pull out. You got some nice handles here that you grab onto. And what this is going to do is a couple things, really. One of them being making it more manageable to take in or take out and put in your truck. You know, you can kind of split the weight up differently. And a lot of these parts are also available separately. So if you ever do run into an issue and need to replace a part or two or whatever, you can do that without having to get a whole new hitch. The little bushings here, these are polyurethane, what the head's going to ride on. And what that's going to do is just help keep a more quiet and comfortable ride. You know, you're not going to have metal contact. So these will help absorb some of that shock and road noise as well. Really, when it comes down to it, if you have an underbed hitch and you're wanting to use a fifth wheel, or starting from scratch with using a fifth wheel really only in mind, using that underbed hitch, getting the Companion, it's a no-brainer. You know, the B&W parts across the board, I'm a huge fan of. They're extremely well made. You know, and they make a statement. They're made right here in USA. Everything's easy to use, figure out, put together, so on and so forth. One of my favorites for sure. It's usually my top recommendation. So you really cannot go wrong. A lot of people are really happy with the B&W stuff, and I can see why. But with all that said, I think that'll about do it for our look at of our B&W Companion fifth wheel trailer hitch on our 2024 Ram 2500.